This is a heater. This is a top plug. Assuming that this one is a microwave with this top plug, earthing has to be very consistent from the cable itself. So this one being a top plug, if you understand this basic, as much as it is a very simple concept, you will generally understand earthing. All right. So this is a top plug. This top plug is connected to a cable. In fact, let me just use this one right here, my top bosses. Okay, so we have this cable. This is the best way to understand earthing. The coil itself is connected here through these two pins, so that once the current is flowing through it, we have the neutral as well as we have the phase or the line. And that is why here we have this indication that this is L, this is N. What does that mean? Line, neutral. And then, of course, this one is indicated E. You see there? Are you able to see that? That one is an E, meaning earthing. And you can see it is longer than the other pins, so that when you insert it inside a wall socket or inside an extension cord, it will definitely pave way for connection. It will first be connected. And so today, my top boss, we are diving deeper when it comes to this subject. So this pin is longer, so that when it is connected in the wall socket, it will first of all make contact with the connection here, the earthing connection, which is this one, before you can even connect this heater. If, for instance, someone accidentally comes in contact with this heater, already the earth pin or earthing pin has made contact in there. You can even see my top bosses that this one was intentionally made to be at almost at the surface. You can see, let me not say the mabati, you can see that copper-like part inside right here, all right? And for the other two pins, you cannot see that. Why? Why is that so? So that when you insert this plug inside there, you see which one goes in first. It is definitely the earth pin for safety purposes. So once it goes in, it is already in contact right there. So if you plug it in, my top boss, it has already made contact with what? The earthing connection. Is that so simple to understand? I believe it is. Once it has made contact, it means that the protection is on. But like we said, if this cord is not in contact with the metallic part of the microwave, just the same way if that connection, that pin is not in contact with this part here, you see this part? So this one acts as the earthing or the safety net. So it is connected with this earthing pin. So for us to just prove that, we will definitely test. And so here I have my digital multimeter. What we need to test here, simple, is to test the continuity, right? The continuity. So from the plug, once the plug is inserted inside the socket, it is supposed to make a continuity all the way up to this part here. So what I'm going to do, my top bosses, is to simply remove this cover, remove the cover on the top plug, so that we are able to record the continuity. So using my tester will help you understand the basics when it comes to electrical, all right? So these are just the screws for what we have been talking about. This is definitely the earth connection. This is the line, or you can see even the fuse. The fuse is attached to the line. It is not attached to earthing or neutral, simply because this is where the connection from the face gets in, and then this is the neutral, this is the earth connection. Now my point was that pin, the earthing pin, is intentionally longer, so that when it gets to the sockets, this is the socket. When it gets to the socket, it will first of all make contact right there. So we want to test, in fact, even before the other pins get in, all right, will we get a continuity, all right? So like that, you see, it is not already in, but we want to prove, is it already making contact with the earthing connection? So using our digital multimeter, that is what we are going to do. Let us first of all agree with me that this is what we are going to do. We're going to unscrew that and then have to attach. We will unscrew here or even without that, we can simply place. So let me just demo it from the front of our camera. So I can simply attach it at this point, and then all that we need to get is a beep. Yes, it is in contact. And mark you, the pins, these other two pins, are not yet fully inserted in the socket. So that is what we have. The moment we insert it like so, and then record. In fact, even when the switch itself is off, and then switch it before we switch it on, record the continuity between this earthing point here and this earthing that is in the socket. Should we get a result of continuity? Will it beep, my top bosses? So that is what we are looking for. And how are we going to do it? Procedurally. So this is my multimeter. So we want to get some zeros and a beeping sound so that we know that there is continuity. So we will test between this long pin or the earthing pin and this part right here. So we'll simply insert it like that, and trust me that we have connected it there, and then go ahead and touch that, and what you can see is a beep and also zeros, meaning very, very little resistance, almost negligible. All right, so that is what we have. Now moving on, my top bosses, we have said what is earthing. Earthing will now be connected from this microwave or whatever appliance that you have all the way to the plug, to the socket. We have already demonstrated that it has to be continuing. So from your appliance through the cable, it has to be continuing all the way to the wall socket. If there is no continuity up to the wall socket, that will fail. It means that you will receive an electric shock in case there are charges on the microwave, or in case there are excessive charges, especially that are on the surface of the microwave, especially for these metallic appliances. That being said, the wall socket is also another. It has to go all the way to the consumer unit. All right. So apart from our L and N going all the way to the MCB, where many people put a lot of focus. So we have consumer unit, we have the earth bar, we'll have the neutral bar, and we'll also have the MCB. So as much as we are connecting the line, the neutral, to the MCB, as well as to the neutral bar respectively, the earthing has to be continuing all the way from the sockets. So this is where the wiring comes in handy. The wiring from the sockets, from the lighting points, all the lighting points have to be in contact with the earth bar in the consumer unit, customer consumer unit. That one you have to check properly. Apart from that, apart from getting all the way to the consumer unit, what we need to be sure about is from the consumer unit, that continuity of the earthing has to go all the way to the meter board, and then from the meter board, it has to go to the earth rod to work. Thank you so much, my top bosses, for watching this stream. I have been your host, John Gatehi, and on behalf of our top bosses who are definitely working with us here at Top Heights, I really, really appreciate you. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much. This is Top Heights Electricals and Solar. Have a fantastic time.